Welcome to the Daycare Sisters podcast. I'm Brandy.
And I'm Erin. Home daycare is a job where you're never alone, but always lonely. The kids need you, the parents want to talk about their kids, and by the time everyone's gone home, you haven't had a real adult conversation all day.
We get it. We've felt it. Isolation is the dirty little secret of home daycare, and nobody should feel alone doing the work we love. So here we are.
We're two sisters, business owners, parenting 9 kids with over 30 years of home daycare experience between us. Think of this as something to have on in the background while you make lunch, tidy up, or count down to nap like it's a national holiday.
Please follow wherever you like to listen, and if you know another home daycare provider who needs this, send it their way.
We're going to talk. We have more voicemails today, so we're going to do a voicemail episode.
Yeah, this is exciting and just kind of go through them and talk about them. And
yep. But if it's your first time here, and so you can skip ahead using the chapters if you want to get to the topic you want.
So today we're going to go through voicemails.
Yep.
We are really excited to do this, and we really want more people to call in.
Yeah, we love this. That's great.
So this is a lot of fun. We have not listened to these. Before we get into it, the number is going to be at the bottom of the screen. 651-300-2277.
Yeah.
You can be anonymous. You don't need to say your name. You don't need to say where you live. Just, I mean, we're loving these. It's fun.
It's fun.
So, okay. So we are going to we're going to play our first voicemail.
Hi, I have a question and a half. I guess the first one question is about overstimulation. What do you do about getting overstimulated with, just the loud noises, the constant demands, and just how the kids always need something from you? And what if you have one that specifically is very, very loud, octave, soprano, and I feel like a tree that has koala bears crawling all over her all day long. And by the end of the day, I'm just very overstimulated. And I just can't, I don't want to say no to them. I'm wondering if you have boundaries or what advice you would give about overstimulation for the caregiver. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. It is a real problem. Yes, it happens.
And I'm seeing it a lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot of providers feel this way.
Yeah. And you get to a point where I think for me, the biggest problem, because I get overstimulated easily.
Yeah.
With touch and noise and everything. So this very much happens to me. And unfortunately, I can power through it with the daycare kids. And then I get to the evening and my own kids, my youngest is very touchy, always sitting on top of me. My actually youngest too. They sit on me, they touch me, they're playing with my hair, and I usually then get upset at I can't do it with my own kids, which makes me feel really guilty because I managed it through the daycare and then now I'm losing it with my own kids.
Yeah.
So it is really, really hard. And then the noise. Yeah.
And I think for me, it's the noise.
Mm-hmm.
It is not necessarily the touch doubt because my kids are older.
Yeah.
So I don't have my big kids sitting on my lap or, and so when they want to sit on the couch with me and cuddle, first off, I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Second off, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this because no one does it anymore.
Right.
But the noise to me is huge.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that we have talked about doing a hearing loss episode because I know so many providers talk about the hearing loss.
Yeah.
And I wear earbuds a lot.
Yeah. They do have certain like the loop.
Yep. So I sometimes wear the loop ones.
Yep.
Sometimes I wear my normal earbuds and play music, or sometimes I've played like the ocean, and it depends on whatever my mood is for music or something in my head or a podcast. Something going on in my head. And it's not to
You can still hear.
I can still hear everything.
Yes, you have headphones, and it just muffles it.
Yes.
A bit. It's not like it gets rid of all the noise.
Yep.
But it really, really does help.
Yes.
Because you kind of feel a little bit more like you're in this, I don't know, like, what are those, like, chambers? You know, you kind of have this, like, okay, I can manage this. I can.
Yep.
It's like turning down the screaming.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like
high pitched, like she said, the soprano, and yeah, it turns that down. You can still hear it all, but it's not so like, you know.
I talked about my kid who's very loud. The kid walks in with the voice of like, I don't know, an adult, and yelling it too. Like he is a constant yeller.
Some kids are just like that. They have a booming voice.
Yeah.
In their normal talking voice. And I've had kids like that too, where they just talk like this. I'm talking to you and it just comes out like this. And this is my normal voice.
Yes.
Like, we don't have to yell in our normal voice. I can hear you just fine.
Yeah. We've done a lot of like whisper.
We whisper, yes. But that's just their normal voice.
Yeah.
And so that's really hard to say.
Yeah.
You're really being loud when that's actually their just normal voice.
I do have to say my other kids are like, Miss Brandy, why does he yell all the time? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how to like be like, oh, that's just his normal voice.
Maybe
like,
somebody has some reason, but some kids do that.
Yeah.
That's just, it's really weird. And I don't know what it is or why that is.
No, I don't either.
So that can be hard.
Yep.
When you have a child like that. I have in the past. I actually don't right now. So that's really nice though. So,
which is funny because the kid that came from your house to my house this summer, I would say he's almost up there too. But
it's funny.
It's more of a feeding off of everybody else.
Oh.
And so then I have the one loud kid and then he's feeding off and somebody else is feeding off his energy and they're all feeding off. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, why are we so loud? So we're outside a lot.
Yeah. And if you have, I have a couple though that do have the really high pitch.
Yes.
So
or squeals.
The squeals. I have a baby that she just high pitch squeal and she's happy.
Yep.
She's very happy. And you're just like, okay, that's really loud. Yes. And you just are, babbling a normal baby. And so I would say definitely the headphones or earbuds work the best with noise.
I would also say that if I can control one of my overstimulated whatever, I don't know what you want to call what of factors, I don't know. Yeah, factors, senses, whatever. So when I can control the noise, I don't get as touched out quickly. Everything else calms down.
Yes.
But if
I think
one is overstimulated, then the rest of me is just like, everything is overstimulated now.
Yeah.
So if you can kind of control a few of the pieces, I feel like that helps everything else.
Yep. And I do think so. There are things that you can do, like hearing, that sort of thing. Touch, I would say for me, I do have a lot of touchy kids and my own kids too. So I've noticed that if I get down on the floor, they're going to be all over me. So sometimes that's fine and I can handle it. But then when I've had enough, I need to get up and move. So I maybe don't spend as much time down on the floor with them.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So my house is kind of an open concept. So I have it's a big opening into the playroom where the kitchen is, but I'll put a gate up. Now I'm right there. I can see them. They're right there.
Yep.
But sometimes I'll make lunch and I just need to shut that gate. It's one of the low,
yes.
Yep. And they're all right there playing.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just separated myself a little bit.
Yeah, and I was going to suggest that too because I have an island. Yeah. And if I stand on one side of the island, the kids know they don't really go to that area.
Yeah.
Now, that's like in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Mine is also an open concept. It's just one big room.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm behind the island, they don't usually come behind the island, or I'm like, hey, out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
And then they're not back there.
Yeah.
The other part, I think, is the more soft things I have out, the less they seem to touch me.
Yeah.
Because they're bouncing off the bean bags. They are on the nugget. They are touching all the soft things with their friends. They're rolling around, and then they're not touching me.
Yep.
And I feel like that seems to help quite a bit. Changing your room up a little might help too, because I know when I first opened my daycare in this space, I didn't have carpet.
Mm.
And so the noise was just booming. And we didn't want carpet at first, but we were like, well, we need it.
Yeah, you might need some, I think they have like felt things that you can put on the wall that like absorb the sound. And so then
rugs, curtains, just some things, even like fabric, tapestries or whatever you want to put. Some things like that might help too, just to kind of drown out some of the noise.
Right.
Which I honestly think for me, the noise is the worst part.
Yeah, I do. I'll sit sometimes, and if I'm not on the floor, that's where they like crawl all over me.
Yeah.
Is on the floor. And then if I'm on a couch or a chair, they'll a lot of times come sit next to me a lot. I have a lot of kids that want to just sit next to me.
Yeah.
But I can handle that, because they're just like sitting there.
Yeah, they're not like running, jumping.
They're not climbing all over me.
Yes.
And sometimes you do have to say like, oh, we're not going to do that right now.
Yeah.
Or the noise even. I'll be like, well, we are not outside. That's outside voices.
Yeah.
We need to be quieter. It's getting too loud in here. And that's okay to just say, put those boundaries in place.
So I have a little guy that goes to preschool right now. He's in a speech program.
Mm-hmm.
And he has colors.
Yeah.
He'll be like, this is a yellow voice, or this is a red voice, or a green voice. And so the kids are kind of learning about that too.
You can have a chart with the colors on your wall, and you could say, hey, we're at here and we need to bring it down to here. Make it a visual.
Yeah. The other thing, which works for pretty much all of the overstimulation, I feel like, is I have a bucket of books or a shelf with books next to my kitchen table. And if kids are getting too rowdy, if they are getting too loud, if I, probably more so me than them, just need a minute of like peaceful quietness, I'm like, everybody to the table with a book or a doodle board.
Yep.
Now, doodle boards to me are like those little magnetic boards that you don't need, like they can draw on them.
Yeah.
And I can't think of it shows up without paper or pens.
Yeah. And then you like erase it.
And then you can erase it. Yes. So I have a bunch of those next to my kitchen table. And if I'm like, all right, I need a minute, maybe the kids are getting a little out of hand, whatever the overstimulation might be, somebody's crying because it's too much, whatever, then we just take a seat.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a little frustrating because my little loud guy, he's like, oh man, the table again, or whatever it is. But then they know.
Yes.
Guess what?
And
we're sitting down.
Get used to it. I think if you kind of start implementing some of these things, they start to understand and know.
So the other thing I think is really big is that nap time. Now, even my 5-year-olds who are going to kindergarten need to rest.
Yes.
You can do it however you want, but I think 10 minutes, whatever, even if it's 10 minutes, whatever time frame you want for those big kids, but you need it, they need it.
Everybody needs it.
Everybody needs it to just sit down and rest.
Yep.
Because then at least it's quiet for a few minutes. You can reset. like everyone can reset.
Yes. But I also think once the daycare, if you have time, once the daycare leaves, take some time for yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Go sit in your bedroom by yourself.
Right.
When you just
probably
to
fall asleep.
decompress or give yourself some time. Again, we don't always have the time because we might be rushing off to activities or something, dinner and then activities, and we just have to go. But I mean, if you can take that time, or even at the end of the day, doesn't have to be right after daycare, just at the end of the day, take some time to, give yourself. I think another important thing for me, because I do get very overstimulated, is sleep. Make sure you're getting enough sleep, because I get way more overstimulated if I'm tired.
Yep. Very true. Very true.
So I think sleep is very, very important.
Saying my body needs a break.
Yeah.
Why don't you sit by me? Your body might need a break too. Everybody, we all just need a break sometimes.
I think it's okay
and
to be
teaching them.
Yes. And exactly. Be honest with them and say, this is getting too loud for my ears.
Yeah.
We need to quiet it down. Or I need to take a break.
Yeah.
Because then that shows them that it's okay to take a break.
Yes.
Then they can take a break when they're overstimulated too.
Yep. Yeah. No, I think that's great. If you guys have suggestions for overstimulation, please put your suggestions in the comments. I think this is a good one that, I mean, even you and I, clearly we get overstimulated doing this job too. So it would be great for us to have
some other
suggestions too, because as I get older, I feel like I'm getting more overstimulated quicker.
Yeah.
So leave some suggestions in the comments. And we will play our second voicemail.
All right.
Hi, Brandy and Erin. I'm a newer provider. I've been doing this for about a year and a half. I am licensed and I can have 6 kids by myself. Currently, my youngest is about 21 months, and then I have some kids who are going to turn 4 soon. And this past school year, I really struggled with kids hitting. Mostly it was an almost 2-year-old. Sometimes as the year went by, I was able to realize the pattern of it. For example, if I had to take a toy away from them or something, they would immediately run over to the nearest kid and hit them out of frustration. So things like that, I've been able to intervene before the hitting happens, but other times it's just so random. They'll just be playing, and then I look over and they're smacking a kid, or they're grabbing them around the neck or trying to knock them down. And I feel bad separating them from the other kids so much, but anytime I have to change a diaper or help a kid with the potty or prepping lunches, I just feel like I can't leave them alone with the other kids, not knowing when they might start hitting. And then I had another kid who was older, closer to 3, who would also hit randomly, but then anytime we'd, take out the nugget couches or the tunnel to crawl through, they seemed to have no sense of their body and space, so they would be falling on top of kids, kicking them, just like squishing them, and it was just, I felt like every time I stepped away to do something, I would have someone getting hurt and someone crying. So I would love some advice on handling, hitting specifically, but even just any sort of behaviors like this, especially as I don't work with an assistant or anything. It's just me all the time with 6 kids. Thanks.
I am currently in this exact situation. I feel like lately the boys I have like to touch each other. They're very much sensory seeking kids.
Yes.
And I think that is a huge piece to it.
Yep.
I used to have one little guy who would lay under the nuggets, and he wanted people to roll over him or jump on the nugget while he was under it.
Yep.
This is so common.
Yeah. It is so common, but it can be dangerous.
Yes.
So I have had this in the past, and sometimes you just have some kids that you have to. I've had times where we've just had to get rid of the nuggets or put them in a different place for a year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even a short period of time. It's just, we can't be playing with this. This is now a toy that's gone.
Yep.
And sometimes you have to do that. We don't have our nuggets out right now because of that. And they get too wild and crazy.
Yeah.
And I have a rule that you can't go under the nuggets.
Yes, I do too.
Because that I'm so afraid of somebody being under the nuggets and then another kid jumping on top of the nugget and something bad happening.
And you don't have the circle nuggets. So the circle nuggets, you can take out the middle.
Yeah.
And they like to go and hide in there and then put the top over them. And sometimes they build them two up and then try to cover people on the inside. So it is a tough one because I am constantly like, no, that's not what they're for.
Yeah.
This one is tough. It is developmentally normal.
Yeah.
Everything that I guess, I don't even know because I have a kid. I'm in this same situation right now with a biter.
Yeah. I did have biters. I had a biter.
Yes. And like this kid, he just comes with me everywhere.
Yep.
I can't have him be outside by himself. I can't I don't have them outside by themselves. I don't mean that. I just mean that he, like, as I'm getting kids ready, he has to wait for me until the last moment to go outside because he can't do anything without me.
Right. Yeah. And I did have, I had a kid like this who, I wouldn't say, he pulled hair, pushed kids over. And I'm talking like anybody. It was just really, really bad for a while. And it's not a fast turnaround. It's not like it's only like a week or two. This is not a phase that could only last a short period of time. It can be
because of reaction
phase. Well, I did have to separate this child I'd put him in, he was younger.
Yeah.
So I think what it seems to be saying almost 2.
Yep.
I would still say that's still on the young side.
Yes.
And so that's what about this little boy was. And I would have to put him in a high chair in the same area as the kids. Again, if I was doing something, if I couldn't be right there. And sometimes, I'd give him a break, sit him at the table in the high chair, and then say, okay, you can get down now. And immediately would go over to a kid. No, I'm not even talking like, it would be seconds.
Yes. Yes.
If I just like, oh, you're down, you can go play now. And it would be like, he would run to that kid, any kid, pull their hair, push them, hit them, anything.
Yeah.
And it was so, so hard. But I would then put him back up in the high chair at the table.
Consistency is key.
It's consistency. And now he doesn't do any of that.
Yep.
They do learn. They do figure it out. They're not bad kids. They're not just, it doesn't mean they're going to do this forever. It's just a really hard time during those times.
My assumption is, and I don't want to assume, but maybe communication skills are lacking.
I'm sure, yeah.
So with my 2-year-old, my almost 2-year-old, he's not 2 yet, that bites. His communication isn't there.
Yep.
It's maybe a little behind, I would say. But he is not talking at the level that he probably should be. And that is making the biting come out.
Yep.
Somebody does something he doesn't like, he instantly bites. Somebody does something he does like, he bites. Yeah. Like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. But he can't verbally communicate to the extent that he probably needs to be.
I have a really little boy that feels like he just mauls the other kids, right?
Yeah.
But he's happy.
Yeah.
It's just, again, the physical, he just wants to like, we just are.
Yeah. Everybody's
like
touching.
Play wrestling. And he's, he's an early one, right? And it's just like, I'm just going to give you a hug. Well, that hug was a little too rough.
Yeah.
You didn't know that though.
No.
But, and so, or sit on them. I don't know. It's just, it is hard and frustrating. I'm laughing about it now, but in the moment, it is very hard and frustrating.
Yeah.
So I totally understand.
So I do the same thing with my biter right now. And if I have to go to the bathroom, if it's either in what I jokingly call, and I say it to my parents, so the baby cage.
Yep.
So I will put him in the baby cage, or I put him in the high chair. I put him somewhere where he can't do that while I'm going to the bathroom or putting lunch together or whatever.
Yeah. And this is why daycare is so hard. Yeah. You have so many kids and you don't know what you're going to get. You could have a great group that play so well together and are just amazing, and it all just works out great. And then you could have a hitter and a biter and a screamer or a, whatever, and you just are trying to, what is it? It's like herding cats. I don't know. It's just very, very difficult, and you go up and down.
Yeah.
Some months are great, and some months you're like, oh, great. Somehow that one started biting now, and now we have to.
Yeah. And it's going to ebb and flow. There's going to be months where you're like, yes, we got it. We figured it out. Sometimes I feel like the kids that hit, bite, though it depends on if it's a large amount of your group. Are they old enough to do crafts? Because sometimes when I have a little more structure, then that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
If I'm like, all right, now we're at the table. Now we're at the, rug, we're doing circle time. Now we're back at the table to do an activity. Now we're outside. If you have a little bit more structure, sometimes that helps.
Yeah. But that could be exhausting if you're constantly, you have to be on them at all times. Yeah. It is exhausting.
Yeah. Yeah. But sometimes it also is just a blip in the, the year or whatever. Yeah. And then they get over it because then they start to learn to talk, or they start to learn, to communicate better so that they are not hitting or not biting.
Yep. I do find it, I don't know, a little ironic. I had a biter and she would always bite this other little girl. And then we finally figured, we got it. She got old enough, really, is what it was. And we talked to her a lot. Her parents talked to her a lot about it. Eventually, she stopped biting. Well, the little girl that she bit, she started biting her. Like, not back, because the one wasn't biting anymore. Yeah. But she started biting, and I kind of wanted to say, like, karma. You taught her that. Yeah. Like she just thought this is what we do. Yeah. And now she's biting you back. Like, this is hilarious. How we do this now between us. Yeah. And the older one could now communicate. Right. And she would say, she would tell the other little girl, like, no, we don't bite. No, we don't do this. And all this. And she would go home and tell her mom. And her mom was kind of like, well, yeah, this is, you kind of taught her this too. But yeah, so we have the other kids help. So she was saying when she was older, she's like, don't bite. We don't bite, Yep. And she did, as she was a biter. Now she is great. And she can, because we had so much communication with her while she was in that phase. Yeah. And we really, her mom talked about it with her, and we talked about it with her. She then, once she could verbalize, once she was old enough to communicate, she could actually keep it together. If she got bit, she would be like, and she would get upset. She would get mad, but she would be able to, like, tell the other girl, no, no. And then she would be able to come over to me and say, she bit me and I didn't like it. And this is how it made me feel because we talked about it so much.
Yes. Yeah.
So I guess it's really hard while you're going through it.
Yeah, it is.
But I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing, but it actually does make, if you can verbalize to them in age appropriate ways, then they actually come out better.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Well, and we are doing that currently now with my older kids, I am telling them to say, no, don't do that.
Give them the
no
words.
Bite, no hit, whatever it is that these younger kids are doing, you need to say to them, no.
Yep.
And also to learn for them stand up for themselves too.
I mean, because I'll have older kids that are being mauled by this aggressively hugged by this little boy, and they're like on the floor, and I'm like, just move.
Yeah.
You're like twice his size. Just get up and move. Like
I don't understand it. Like, oh my gosh. Like one of the kids the other day was like, she bit my finger. And I was like, did you put it in her mouth? Like how? That doesn't even make sense to me.
Right.
Like she just was like, hey, let me grab your finger. I'm going to bite it. And I'm like, I don't understand that. Like you are
twice, 3 times their age.
Yes.
4 times sometimes. Like,
right?
Why are you letting them do this?
Yes. So there is a lot of me going, okay, guess what? You are a big kid and they are not. So tell them no.
Yeah.
Don't put your finger in their mouth. I don't know. Like, come on.
Or just, So I would say a lot of communication. Tell, even the younger one that is hitting.
Yep.
Talk to them and say, I'm putting you in here. You're going to take a break.
Yeah.
You're going to be over here because you hit. We don't hit. It's simple things, and it's probably not going to get through to them for a while.
Yep.
But if you keep going and keep saying it and keep talking to them, then eventually it will get through. I would also say, don't feel too guilty about separating them.
No. You have to, you are in charge of 6 kids.
Yeah.
You need to make sure they're all safe.
Yep.
They all are okay.
Yeah.
So you separating helps all of the kids.
Yeah.
It is not just you're not just doing one, oh, I'm separating, so I feel bad that No. You are making sure everyone is safe. Every parent would understand that.
Yeah.
And want you to do that.
Yep.
So
yeah, for sure, don't feel guilty about that.
No.
I would say to keep doing it.
Yep.
Honestly. And it might take some time, but eventually and talk to them while you're doing it, explain what you're doing. They're not going to understand probably, I would assume, depending on their age for a little while. But
I have a 4-year-old that is very rough. So throughout the day, I say, don't touch your friends. Mm-hmm. Don't touch your friends. Oh, you touched your friends. Come sit by me.
Yeah.
Come sit at the table. Whatever it is, it is a constant to a point where he is like, oh,
yep.
I have to sit at the table again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Because you keep touching.
We
have got to learn, because when you go to kindergarten, you can't touch your friends all day long.
Yeah.
Like you can't keep wrestling them.
Yeah.
That is not what happens in kindergarten. We are trying to teach these boundaries before they go to kindergarten.
Yes.
Because they need them.
Yes. Those kindergarten teachers will thank you.
So true.
Have them come sit next to you too, or sit in maybe you have a quiet space for them to sit in, or something, and just tell them that they need a break, stuff like that. Yeah, I have one that if she knows, like, as soon as she does something, she'd be like, oh, I don't even. She's like, dang it.
Yeah,
I
have a couple like that too.
Because they know, and they're like, yeah. And sometimes because she's older, sometimes I won't actually put her because she knows.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, okay, let's work on that.
Yeah.
Let's not do that again.
Right.
You know better.
Yeah.
and obviously. So it doesn't, have to automatically mean punishment, but it's just, or taking a break, but it just is, they start, if you communicate with them throughout the whole time.
But also know that this is totally normal.
Yes.
It is a blip in your daycare because that is what happens. It goes ebbs and flows in terms of like what kids you have, what kids,
Yep.
The next group could be just mellow and chill. You have no idea what you're going to get. But the fact that you are also tracking when it happens is a good thing, because sometimes there are like triggers that you notice with your kids and you're like, oh, I got to catch that before it happens. And
maybe you need to remove a toy from the daycare just for the time being.
Yeah.
And then give it a few weeks, bring it back in, see if it's better. If not, remove it again.
Yeah.
And wait again and keep trying that. So, yeah.
Change up your zones in your daycare. So depending on how your daycare is set up, that might matter too.
Yeah.
I remember when we used to work at centers, we would have things placed strategically in the room so kids couldn't just run through the room.
Yes.
So you would have it so that, if they are running, maybe they have to stop to go around something, or maybe they have to slow down to move through the room.
Yeah.
So we would strategically place, barricades or barricades. That's a bookcase.
Yeah. Or gate.
In the way.
So
yeah.
My house is, the staircase is in the middle. I hate it, but it's where we live.
Yep.
It's in the
staircase.
It's in the middle of the house, which creates this track. Basically, they can run in circles. It's like entryway,
really should
living
make
room,
it into a road around your
kitchen,
like a little road.
No, I don't.
Oh my God, they would love that.
And then playroom, and then back, entryway, living room, kitchen, playroom, and they would just run and run and run and run, but. It was not safe either, because even if you get a kid running the opposite direction.
Oh yeah, you
around
can't.
a corner.
You gotta have the.
So we just had to put.
You could have little arrows. It would be so cute, and you could be like, everybody, we're gonna go do our 10 laps, and then you could be like, run. I would
maybe sometimes
run the track.
They would do it just during.
I know. Yes.
Whenever, and we could maybe set it up as like an actual activity time.
Oh my gosh.
But the rest of the day, we had to put a gate.
Yeah.
Because I cannot.
You would have to have wooden signs that you could just place, or like a paper sign or something that you would place so that an arrow would say like, this is the way we're going.
This way. But some are slower than others, and then you get tripped over if you're too slow.
I know. Yes.
I don't know. It got to be a hazard. So I had to put up gates. You're trying to I'm like, no.
Here's me 10 miles later. Keep running.
Keep running. It would be nice if it was, but it's just not.
Yep.
And then, because our kitchen has an island, and that island height sometimes is just the perfect height for their little heads. And then they're run into that. I don't know.
Okay, but this is actually making me think of a story now. We have a trampoline.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my little guy.
You have like a little trampoline.
Yeah, we call it like a rebounder here. So it is a one-person trampoline.
Yes.
It is a one-person trampoline in the house. So we use it to get your wiggles out.
Yeah.
So guess what? You're being a little too rough with everybody. Go jump on the trampoline. You got a lot of wiggles.
Yeah.
You got to get your wiggles out. So now I do have a couple of kids that have learned that when they wrestle somebody, they need to come to the table. So now they go, I need to get my wiggles out. And they'll just wrestle somebody. And then they're like, quick jump on the trampoline. Like, ooh, I'm not in trouble because I'm jumping on the trampoline.
Yep.
So we have used it as, you have too many wiggles because you're wrestling your friend. Jump on the trampoline.
Yeah.
And honestly, it works great.
Mm-hmm.
So something like that, if you can, and if you have the space for it. Obviously, space is a factor when it comes to that, but it's not, the end all be all. It's just
or find something that they could
find something like that. And I have seen I don't know about you guys, but Amazon is up in all my accounts these days. So there is like this flat board and it's got 4 pieces and you can just bounce and it's very low to the ground. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need one of these. I don't know what it's called now. I'm going to have to look it up, but I thought, oh, that would be great too. It's not as big as the trampoline.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe you have them jump on the nugget or, you know, or a cushion or.
Yeah. We have one of those like, even a mattress, like a bouncy mattress.
Yes.
Some of those mattresses can be kind of bouncy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there are some things that you could get that are smaller than a trampoline. Our trampoline is not that big, but
yeah,
we use it a lot. So if you guys have suggestions, leave it in the comments below.
Yep.
For
hitting.
Yeah, for
rough play,
hitting. Oh, the other thing is that we are actually going to do an episode about boys. We had talked about boys. A bunch of you suggested some books to buy or read, and we've got 3 books sitting here so that we can go over them, read them, go over them.
We'll do that on a future
episode. We just need to have time to read a book.
Yeah.
But we're gonna read those books soon and do a boy episode. It doesn't even necessarily. I just have a lot of boys. It doesn't have to be boys, but I feel like.
I think we had said something in an episode.
Yes,
and then
about how the because I have a lot of boys and they're rough, so much rough. Oh.
Yeah, but I mean, my biters were girls. I think it's just
All right. We're gonna move on to our next caller.
Right.
Hey, ladies. I currently have had a situation with a child who's been here for about 7 months now. And gradually over time, it just seems like her behavior has been getting worse and worse. And I've definitely tried working with the parent. Based off of my policy, it doesn't really state or give an exact timeline of when I can expel or, definitely terminate the contract. It just basically goes through the child's behavior threatens the safety and health of himself and other children, which I realized after shifting my way of thinking that this is definitely a safety problem because all it takes is one good kick when this child is out of control. And for me not to be, for these kids who are scared of the situation, who come to me for support and love, I just like to know if you guys have ever had this experience happen to you where you might have to. Bottom line, she's going to go because that's what needs to happen. But I now need to know how to document going about this because I'm just worried that it's going to fall back on me. I know in some of your previous podcasts where you're like, you're not a bad provider, but right now I feel like if I don't expel this child, I will be a bad provider because I'm not ensuring the safety of the other kids due to the fact that this child's behavior is out of control. I have tried working with the mother. She does come from a little bit of a broken home. The child doesn't go to bed until sometimes between 9 and maybe sometimes 11 o'clock at night, which I don't know what your opinion is, but that is way too late of a bedtime for a 4-year-old to be having. Like I said, I've tried to communicate, but everything has been through text messages. But I just want to know, if you guys had to do this, what would be your documentation process? How would you ensure safety for yourself in your business in total? But like I said, it'd be great if you guys get back to me. If not, that's totally fine. I just been really weighing this on my heart. And it's just tough. So appreciate it.
Oh. I think this. Okay.
Yeah. This is a termination and documentation.
Yes, and I feel so horrible for this daycare provider. That is really, really tough to deal with. like maybe the parents aren't as receptive to what she has seen.
That's what I'm getting. Yep.
So I think it sounds like she's ready to terminate because the behavior isn't changing.
Yep.
In this child, and the parents aren't helping.
Yes.
With it.
So first off, change your contract.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that's a big one. You said that your contract discusses the child's safety, discusses, why you can terminate, but you don't have a...
I think in our contracts, we can terminate at will.
Yes.
So I would make sure that is in your contract.
Yep.
Check with your state laws.
Yes.
First. But I think and we can terminate at will in Minnesota here. So, and we can terminate day of, or,
Yeah.
And just, so check with your state laws, but I'm pretty sure, I don't know what other states are. She didn't say where she's from.
No.
But so that's one thing. And you can just terminate for any reason.
Yes. It doesn't have to be.
You don't need a reason.
When it comes to documenting why you terminated, you have text messages. I think that's great.
Yes.
It helps to have it in writing.
Yes. You could even, I'm kind of assuming, it sounds to me like maybe you have other parents that are worried about their child's safety too.
Yep.
That might be good to get documented as well. Now, you don't have to get that. I don't know for sure, but I wouldn't say you'd have to get that before terminating either.
No.
So if you're worried about it coming back to you.
Yep. For us, this is, you could email your licensor.
Yes.
This is what's going on.
I would do that.
I guess you did not say if you were licensed or not, but if you are licensed, in my case, that would have been one of my first steps. Hey, guess what? This is what's going on. I am going to be terminating.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give you my documentation so that if these people contact you, this is what I am telling you. This is what is going on.
Yep.
I have had other providers say that they have a notebook. It just sits out on their counter all day long. So-and-so kicked 5:00 because of this.
Mm-hmm.
5:30, they did this.
Yeah.
Those are odd times because, well, hopefully we're not
open.
always open. But
if you need to, you could send home incident reports.
Yes. Incident reports would be great in this case because
the parents then have received them.
Yep.
They know what's happening.
Yep.
Unless you just want to terminate immediately. If you want to make sure you get these things documented just in case, you could do that. Keep them for a week, write up some incident reports and send those home just so you have them on record. Make sure you keep a copy for yourself.
Yep. Keep a copy.
You could do that. Honestly, I would probably just terminate right away, but
this is, I can tell by your voice that this is weighing on you.
Yes.
You need to terminate for your own sanity.
Yes. And that's why I'm saying I would probably just terminate immediately.
Yes.
If you want to give them some time to find somewhere else, try and care, you could give it a little bit of time. Even making that decision, though, will make you feel better.
Yes.
So, if you are worried at all for your safety, if you terminate but give them time, I would just terminate immediately.
The other part about this is that I have had families come to me and say, my provider let us go. They've been honest with me.
Yeah.
This is why. They've told me whatever the reason is. Maybe the kid's a little tougher. Maybe he is a little rough and tumble. I take that kid. I say, you know what? He seems like a great kid. We're going to try this.
Yeah.
We're going to do a 2-week trial. Now, this is obviously you letting this kid go. Maybe they go and I would tell them, it's okay to tell your next provider why you were let go, because guess what? they may not want to take on this challenge, but also some providers do take on the challenge. And guess what? It is fit.
Yeah, it can be it again, when we've talked about this.
Yeah.
Like, not every child is the right fit for your daycare.
Yes.
And that does not make you a bad provider.
No.
Whatsoever. I know it can feel that way. And I think
oh my gosh, yes.
I think you might be feeling that way. But it might be the other kids in your daycare that just don't mesh with this kid. You know?
Yeah.
So it just could be you are, more laid back, which is me. So that's totally fine. That kid might need more structure. Now, if a kid came to my daycare that needed a lot of structure, it probably would not be the best fit.
Yeah.
Or vice versa.
Yep.
So if you are a provider that provides a lot of structure and that kid needs just a little bit more laid back environment, it might not.
Yeah.
Some of those things can bring out bad behavior.
Yeah.
And that's not because anything about you.
No.
It's just who you are. Not everybody, just meshes with you, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
But that's where you stay true to yourself and find the kids that fit with you.
Yeah.
Don't try and force a fit, because that's going to create so many problems. And you don't need to. It's not necessary. It's okay.
Yes. And it's not good for the kids.
No.
It's not good
it's not for you.
Yeah. It's not good for anyone in this situation.
Yes. And honestly, like you said, the bedtime, I would agree that is a late bedtime. And that alone could be the problem.
Yes.
Again, I don't know how many times I've said how important sleep is. Sleep makes me more overstimulated and overwhelmed. If I was sleep deprived and faced a situation, and that if I was caught up on sleep and slept great and faced the exact same situation, I could handle it completely differently.
Yeah.
I would not handle it as well.
Yeah.
Sleep deprived.
And honestly, this is stressing you out as a provider,
which might be causing
some of the behaviors, because you're just
like sleepless nights on your part.
Yes.
If you're not, because I do that too. If I have something I'm thinking or stressed about, then I do not sleep as well.
Yeah.
And then that rolls over and the whole thing. It's just.
Well, and not only that, then I'm not as good of a provider.
Right.
Because I am not handling the situation. Maybe you'd be handling the situation better if it just it spirals. It spirals.
It does.
The other part of it is that check your state's recording laws. And I am saying that because you could document this on camera. So if you needed to record your day so that you could document this is what the kid is doing.
Yes.
But definitely look up your
because it might not
law.
Be. Yeah.
Minnesota is a one-party consent. So some states you have to have both parties consent. So double check that. That is not a. Now, I have also, because I have cameras in my house, we have had parents come to us and go, we want to see your cameras. And we are like, no, this is not you can just sit and watch my cameras because
you're just in the home.
Yes, they are in the home. So it is definitely you have to be careful with that one.
Yep.
But I would research it, because if you need that proof, it is, I mean, especially if this is progressively getting worse.
Yes. I would try and take care of it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So, and trust, people have terminated for far less behavior.
Yeah.
Or far less reasons.
Yeah.
And I terminated an infant because they just cried too much. They cried a lot all the time.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because, again, in a different situation, I could have handled it. But I knew that my husband was leaving town for 5 weeks for training for a job.
Yeah.
He was going to be out for 5 weeks, which meant I was working full time and being a mom full time.
Yep.
Doing everything straight, 5 straight weeks. He was not coming home. it was during-ish COVID, the end, whatever, where he still like couldn't come home, that sort of thing. He actually had to be quarantined in his hotel room and couldn't actually do the training anyways. I would assume he couldn't come home and he wasn't working. Yeah. He was just stuck in his hotel room. And I realized leading up to that I was not going to be able to handle all the other kids and this infant.
Yep.
And I felt so bad because it's not like a great reason, you know?
No.
But I am so glad that I did, because during those 5 weeks, not only was my husband gone straight for 5 weeks straight, I had some medical issues that I had to deal with.
Yeah.
Were super hard. I would not have been, I don't know if I would not have been able to handle that baby.
Right.
And nothing was wrong with those parents. Nothing was wrong with it. It was just, I just knew personally I wasn't going to be able to handle it. And I did feel guilty.
Mm-hmm.
But then I felt relieved. Yeah. Because I was, thank goodness I did, because once it got to that point, I knew I wasn't.
Right. Yeah.
So sometimes, you will feel so much better. You will have the guilt.
Yep.
And I don't know how to fix that part. Because it is, and it's horrible, and you feel horrible. But
so the other thing I would say is serve notice in writing, document. That's like, you have proof. This is what I'm telling you. Keep it factual.
Yeah.
And boring. Less is more, people.
Yep.
No, you're, maybe you know of another provider that could handle this.
Yeah.
That give them, here's another provider. Here's a name, number. This provider might be better suited.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things you can do. You don't want to get shut down because they're calling licensing on you, or, because they're going to make up an accusation about what's going on.
Call your licensor first, or email, document that first.
Yeah.
Just say, heads up, this is what I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
I am afraid for the safety of my other kids in daycare, so this is why I'm terminating. But
when you terminate, have another person there if you need to. I think having a backup person, a friend, a husband, family member, whatever, whoever that can stand there as a second set of eyes, great. If you need to record it so that, but that's where the whole check your laws, so that you have proof of how this goes down. I don't know. I have had a run-in with another family member where I ended up having my husband talk to them because I was worried about myself too in the situation. But I was in the room so that I could watch, so I could make sure what was going on, because we needed two people there to kind of record or report this if we weren't sure.
Yep.
We weren't sure.
Yep.
I would definitely have a backup person there just to have a second set of eyes. Even if it's like grandma, I don't know, whoever you can think of, just have a little extra.
Yep. I mean, if you feel comfortable giving them time or some notice, some time for them to find somebody else, if you feel comfortable with that, do that.
But when it comes to the safety of the other kids, though,
that's where with this situation, I maybe
this is this is just not working out.
Yeah.
I am not the right person.
I mean, would you even do it over the weekend and would you text, or would you do it in person?
I would probably do it in person with a piece of paper on a Friday afternoon. The reasoning is, so I don't know about you guys, but the reason that they tell you school schedules on a Friday is so that not everyone can come bombard the school, or they give you like the team, like your kid made this team on a Friday, because then you can't, you have the weekend to absorb the information,
to process it, yes,
before you come at whatever it may be at the school, the coach, whatever, because they don't, it gives them time and you time.
Yeah.
So,
because sometimes it is hard to take the information, and sometimes you do want to immediately respond.
Yeah.
And usually that's probably not the best
time
to respond. But after you've thought about it for a little bit, things cool down a little bit.
Yes. And you can come back with a calmer response.
Yes. So, I mean, they may be upset. The parents will probably be upset.
Yeah.
But
it also gives you the weekend
to just relax and just be like, I did it. It's over.
Yes.
I can breathe now.
Yep. But I would check your contract, your policies. Do you have like, oh, I must give you a 2-week notice in there? What do you have in there? How long do you have to give them? If that's not in there, you can terminate and say, please don't come back. No. If you want to give them 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever you want to do, if you've been handling it good enough and you can handle a week or two, you can tell them, hey, I'll give you, here's your 2-week notice. You have 2 weeks to find new care. Mm-hmm. That being said, though, I personally, I am not a confrontational person, and my notice probably would be on a Friday afternoon, because then I don't have to see them or don't confront have to them for a few days.
Yeah. And if you choose to keep them for even the week and do it on Friday,
a lot of times they won't come back.
Yeah. But I wouldn't in this case. In other cases, if you're willing to try and work with the parents, but in this case, if you're already decided they're leaving, I'm just waiting till Friday.
Yeah.
To terminate, which you don't have to wait till Friday, by the way. But if that's what you want to do, if you want to document it through that week.
Yeah, that's good.
I wouldn't give them the option of working on it. If you've already made the decision, don't leave it open to interpretation.
Yes.
So if you want to document, send home, again, be factual and short. Just say, this is what happened today. Don't give them a heads up. Like, if this doesn't change, I'm going to have to terminate, because then they can change.
Yeah.
And then you might be in kind of not bigger trouble, but you might get yourself into a little bit of a hole that you don't want to be in, because then they said, but we did change. If you've already made up your mind, don't give them the opportunity to fight back, like to make a difference, to change it or anything like that. Because if you're willing to work with them, that's fine too.
Yeah.
And if you're willing to see if they will change, that's fine too. But if you don't want to, you don't leave that open.
But I would definitely document, and even if you can go back, this kid kicked so-and-so at 3:30, whatever, like if you can go back in your mind and remember some things and write them down in a notebook, just so that you have some documentation.
Yeah. You don't have to give them reports either. You don't have to do that.
No, you don't. But even if you're just writing it down so that you can, so if the licensor comes to you or the state comes to you and says, you can't terminate because of this, you can be like, well, this is what happened. This is what's going on.
Yep. Also, make sure you get payment at the beginning of that week, not at the end. Don't wait for payment after you terminate. They're not going to pay you.
That being said, if you terminate and they haven't paid you for that week, is it worth getting their payment? I would say no.
I would say no also. But some people might argue that, but
yeah, that is a tough one for me, because it is when it comes down to safety of kids. Guess what? If you haven't paid me, I'm not coming for my payment, because I want you gone.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to see you or talk to you. I want communication. Just
communication to be helped. Yeah, we're done.
Yep.
So if you have decided, either get your payment ahead of time or count on the fact that you will not get paid.
Yes.
Is what I would say.
Yeah. That's why you should always get paid anyways ahead of time.
Yes, I agree. But that's a whole nother episode.
Yes. And also why I may not give them a week or two notice.
Yes, because they may not pay you for those next 2 weeks.
And if they don't, then just terminate on the spot.
Yes.
You haven't paid me. You can't come here for the whole week. I wouldn't wait. I've talked about in the past where my parents sometimes don't pay me till Wednesday or Thursday, and I don't really care. You know, most parents, I always say, pay me before the week of.
Yep.
But I'm not too worried about it. But in this case, I would be worried about it.
Yes, I would be too. Because it is a matter of principle. They may hold the payment knowing they are going to be done.
Yes.
So also that would go without saying, I don't know if you've taken a deposit. I don't know.
That's true. I don't do deposits.
Yes, and I do. And mine is first week and last week. So it depends on how this all plays out on if you're going to get your money or
if you have done a deposit and you terminate, do you have to pay them back then? Because they don't know it's their last week. And if you terminate on the spot, this is why I don't do deposits. One of the reasons. I can't remember either.
I guess I don't even have the answer to that.
Yeah.
I have never had to terminate when it comes to this. When I terminated a long, long time ago.
Yeah.
20 years ago. I didn't do deposits.
Yeah.
So,
and when I terminated the infant, I gave them like a month's notice.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't anything they were. I knew once my husband was traveling or going to be gone, that's when I knew I needed to be done with. And I knew that in advance, so I gave them plenty of time.
Yeah. I would say yes, I would give their deposit back only because I feel like that would help soften the blow.
Yeah, I agree. I just don't know because I don't take deposits.
Yeah. So I probably would, in the sense of I would be like, you know what? I'm terminating. Here is your money
back. Yep. I agree.
Here is it all.
Yep.
Just take it and go.
Yep.
But if they want 2 weeks, then I wouldn't take it back, or then I wouldn't give it back because mine goes to their last week of care.
Right.
So it depends if they said to me, all right, we're done. Mm-hmm. And I would be like, all right, here's your money. Mm-hmm. Or if they were like, all right, we're going to take that 2 weeks and find care.
Yeah.
So
it
really depends on how you terminate.
Right. Yeah.
But when
something to think about too.
Yes. When it comes to terminating, to me, my sanity is more important than the money.
Right. I agree.
How I want this to end up for me is more important than the money.
Yep. And it might be, if you do give them their deposit back, that might make them feel better, and then they, maybe won't
call licensing
or something like that. I don't think that happens very often. I have heard stories, but I feel like they're not, I don't know, in abundance. There's not a ton.
Yeah, and if I've ever been nervous about it, a lot of times I will handle it differently, like giving them money, their deposit back, or whatever it is.
Yes, if you are worried about it,
super common.
I mean,
I don't think
honestly, either. I hate to say it, but make something up.
Yeah.
I don't even, it doesn't, you don't have to terminate and right? You don't have to tell them the truth.
I need to downsize the amount of kids I have because of A, B, and C.
Yes.
You know what? I have not been feeling my best, and I'm realizing I can't handle this many kids.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, you could totally make up a story and just be like, and this is why I'm done.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
It doesn't.
On my paper.
If you're worried about how they're going to take it, if you tell them why you're terminating.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, if you can terminate at will in your contract, I would maybe make something up. Be nice about it so that it's more amicable.
Yeah, I agree. But when it comes to bedtime, we agree. That was a big one.
That was a big one. And that could be the cause of the
Yes,
problems.
it could
Also,
be.
sounds like the parents aren't super on board with what's actually happening. And I tell my parents this all the time. We need to work together. And that is, like we just talked about in the last call when I had a biter.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it at daycare. The parents talked about it at home.
Yes.
It works so much better when everyone's on the same page.
Yeah.
And if in this instance, it sounds like the parents aren't on the same page, which is going to cause problems. It's just, that's,
it's a red flag.
It's a long-term problem.
Yeah.
That is not a short-term problem.
Yep. So when it comes to documentation, I think this is important. I would write the date, the time, what happened, who was told. Did you tell the mom? Did you tell the dad? What did they say? What you did.
Yes, what you did to either intervene or
yeah. And that will help in documenting like things for licensing or whatever, whoever, if the state were to come at you with something, you can be like, look, here is everything that they did, I did, what happened. Yep. Did the parents go, that's not a big deal, whatever.
Yeah, like we've said in terminating, keep it factual, keep it short and sweet.
Yep.
But in documenting,
the more the better.
The more the better. But you don't have to show the parents that.
No. So this is a notebook or a whatever you have for you.
Yes.
You are just keeping track of this.
Yep. And honestly, if the parent told you that morning, they didn't fall asleep till 11 o'clock at night, write that down too.
Yes.
Anything that you think that could be good information in these situations,
And also, you could use this as an excuse to terminate. I am keeping track of everything that you do, and it's too much.
Yeah.
I don't have time to write down everything that your kid does.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, even the bedtime could be a reason to. Yep. They can't stay awake until nap time, and that screws up our schedule. And I can't be putting your child down earlier for nap time. I can't, that sort of thing. They come in exhausted and tired. That's part of daycare. Part of our sick policy is
you have to be a part. You have to be able to participate.
You have to be able to participate. In normal activities. Yes. And if they can't do that, then they need to stay home.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could, if you want to work with them, you could try. I think some daycare providers even call and have them come pick up and say, they hit. You need to come pick them up.
Yeah, there are. I have never done that because I feel like.
But we've never been in this extreme situation.
Yeah, no, you're right. I agree.
So I would say you can, that the parents might actually get it then.
Yeah, that's true too.
So.
Yeah. But if you have any suggestions that we have not discussed, please write them in the comments below.
I feel like there's probably a lot of providers that have been in this situation.
Yes, that are better suited to answer because we
have real life experience with this.
Yeah.
So it would be great to hear from you guys. We wanted to go over the last voicemail.
Oh, yes.
So the last week's voicemail she was talking about asking how to balance like doing things like laundry and dishes and dinner.
Family life to daycare life. How do you balance family and daycare?
How do I get my laundry done? How do I get dinner on the table? That sort of thing. So we obviously offered our suggestions, but we love because we don't know everything.
Yeah.
We don't have all the suggestions. So it's great that people commented. And so we have a few of the, top comments.
Yeah. Like the ones that most people said.
Yes. Someone said do chores during daycare hours.
Yep.
Laundry at nap, dishes, floors, bathroom. Karen and Lynn both flip washer to dryer before waking the kids during nap time.
Oh, yes. That's actually that's a great idea.
Yeah. Try and get some stuff done during nap time.
Well, and then we also talked about the all-in-one laundry.
Yes.
Like, if you can just do an all-in-one,
Which
that takes out one more step.
It does. Take time off. Guilt-free. Like holidays, vacations, long weekend. Sometimes you just need to do it. Give yourself a little break.
So a lot of people repeated the word guilt.
Yeah.
Like guilt-free. It is,
it's hard.
It is. Megan, Amy, Ann all say to take it without guilt.
Yeah.
It is hard.
It is really, really
hard. And actually this week, so it's the 4th of July. I was open all week.
Mm-hmm.
And because the 4th falls on a Saturday, I don't close.
Mm-hmm.
But I found out Thursday into Friday, a bunch of people were like, we're not coming Friday.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, okay. So I kind of took a poll at drop off. Who's coming? Well, in the morning, no one was coming, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at pickup, people were like, wait, is anyone coming tomorrow? And I was like, what? Your spouse told me you were not coming. So is this going to be one of those instances where your spouse told me you're not coming and then you are telling me you're coming and then you're not going to come, or are you going to come?
Yeah,
like,
I don't
know.
Up. I don't want to be ready and wake up when no one's actually coming.
Yes. So we had said, oh, your spouse told us you're not coming. And they were like, okay, yep, nope, that's fine. So I had one kid that said they were coming.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, I just said to that mom, hey, no one is coming tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
You can come and my assistant will work. Or I don't know if you're working from home. And the mom was like, I'm not working.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, I'll just keep her home.
Yeah.
And I was like, I suspected. So it worked out fine. I mean, I didn't feel guilty about asking.
Sure.
I mean, I did a little bit in the beginning because I was like, but I also went,
I don't know. I would have just closed.
This kid's going to kindergarten.
Given them an option.
This kid is, I mean, I didn't know if they were both working. And in all honesty, I have a lot of blue collar families, construction, things that don't close necessarily.
Right.
So I suspected all of those people would be working, and they were not this year. So now I'm even in debate for next year in terms of when will they observe?
Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, so then do they observe on the Monday? Do they observe on the Friday still? I don't know. And
see, you could
actually, I think
prepare and just close both Friday and Monday.
I could, yes.
That's what I would do. But give them plenty of notice and just say,
fireworks will be Sunday night then.
Yes, I would.
Yeah, so then I'm definitely going to close Monday. It's one of those where you're in limbo. I've had a few parents this past year who have said, "Oh, I've never my company has never closed for this holiday before."
Okay.
So that's where we were like, "Ooh, do we close? Do we not? How do we work this? How do we, so."
Right.
But
yeah, so but if you need to, prepare in advance and close
some of those
look
days.
ahead. Look ahead.
For the holidays.
Then let's see, close early. I changed my hours to 4:30 because I just had to do it.
Yeah.
I think when I started, I was 5:30. Then I moved them to 5, and now I moved them to 4:30.
Yeah.
And that's where I'll leave them. But
I do like or capping the hours. So if you say you can only be there for 9 hours a day.
Right. That's harder, but yes.
Yeah.
I
agree. I do think it's
you
harder.
Have to actually keep track of all that.
Yeah. That's not a me thing.
And then how do you manage that per kid? What if they get there at 7:06? What are you, are you counting that as 7? You know what I mean?
I know, right?
So some of I think that can be a little bit harder for me personally.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe some people can do it just fine.
But my guess is the contracted hours are more of like a 8 to 5. So
yes, you could,
you just can't be, you can't be there after 5 or whatever.
Yeah. So. I don't think I would give them a time period because then they'll.
Yes, I agree.
Just get crock pot dinners.
I think you could do soups or things to me, it's more winter.
It is more winter stuff.
A little bit more of a winter item or winter solution.
But I think a lot of people use them. And freezer meals. I know there's a lot of crock pot meals that you can freeze and then just dump.
Yep.
So that could work.
Yeah.
Let's see. Boundaries and firm policies. We've talked about that.
Yes. Oh, karma.
Let's see. Yeah, like Megan goes dark from 5 p.m. Friday to 7 a.m. Monday. Like, don't answer texts, don't answer calls.
You know what? And
Just
I
take
think
your own break.
I think that's one of my big ones.
Really? See, I don't mind. So I think that's dependent on everybody.
Oh, I think it's if parents abuse it too, though.
But I guess my parents don't ever.
And mine don't either. But sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm sick. I'm not answering this. Like, figure it out. I don't know. They don't need to talk to me in the middle of, when I'm sick or when on the weekend. Yeah, they don't need to. I don't know.
Usually for me, it's, hey, so like, I guess my parents don't really abuse it. I don't know what they're talking about, but unless they send in so-and-so won't be there tomorrow because they're sick. Like, obviously I'd get that. Yeah. I could get that on a Sunday night text and I would text them back on Sunday night and be just fine.
Yes.
And that to me is, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with parents updating me. Or if it's maybe they were sick last week and their Sunday night, they're like, okay, they've been feeling fine all weekend. They're going to be there tomorrow morning. And I'd be like, sounds great.
I think that to me is okay. It's more of like, oh, so-and-so said this today when we got home. And what about, like where they're questioning something their kid said. And I'm
do
like.
You have parents that do that?
Yes.
Oh, maybe I just don't have parents that do that.
I have had parents do that. I'm kind of like, I don't need to answer this right now. Like, this is not a pressing conversation. This is a talk to me on Monday morning when you get back to daycare.
I'll occasionally have parents that send me like fun things. And they'll send something funny, or ask a question that's like, hey, in 3 months when are you taking your are you closed? Whatever.
Right.
And they'll be like, no rush. You do not have to answer this right now.
Yes, I have parents who do that too.
So so that's why I know they're not expecting me to answer it. I don't really care. But also they're like, I just need to get this out there. Mm-hmm. And so I don't forget as a parent. And it needs to be written down, and I don't mind that either. Usually I answer them right away. I guess I'm much more of a texter.
I would say I am.
It takes things off of me that way. Then I can respond to them then and not have to try and talk to them about it at pickup or drop off. Yeah. When the kids are running around and we're trying to figure it out then.
Yep.
In front of the kids.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree with that too.
Sometimes that actually helps. And sometimes I do the same thing where I'll text them on a weekend and say, I forgot to tell you that they need more diapers.
Yeah.
Because I forgot.
Yep.
And that's on my mind right now and I just need to get it out.
Yep.
Because I'll forget. Again.
Yes. Yep.
So
I think that's good. I think it's good. It probably just depends on your parents and your families.
Depends. Yeah.
Spouse cooks or helps. I think we talked about that too. Amy and Ashley said that their husband owns dinner and shopping. Lynn, hubby folds laundry during TV time.
Yeah.
So I think we talked about that. Like it, especially for my husband, it took a while, but I was kind of like, hey, you have to do this. I can't do this.
Yes. Sometimes you have to explain it and get convinced.
Like this was just too much.
Unfortunate, but it might have to happen. Or have your kids help do laundry, watch a show and do laundry together. Make it a family thing. It's not the best family time, but sometimes it just has to be.
Yeah. Well, and I think some of it for having your spouse or your kids help is that they're looking at it like, well, you're home all day.
Yeah.
So how can you not get this done?
Why can't you do this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they forget about the 10 kids running around screaming at you all day long. And yeah.
Yeah. Prep dinner at nap, finish later. Like we said, I do, crock pots work, or we do hot dish sometimes, and I'll make the whole thing, put it in the fridge, and then just put it in the oven.
Yep.
Some of those just oven dinners.
Well, and I've done things like prep, like fruit, vegetables, like that stuff. So those little side dishes or whatever it is, you're just grabbing and going.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some other ones, vacuum monster. Kids chase the vacuum around. Well, we talked about that a lot. Cleans the main floor. It's like the floor is lava. That's what my kids keep thinking. Yeah. Like when I take the vacuum out. I guess the vacuum monster makes sense too.
That's hilarious because my kids don't do that a ton.
Really?
But they do this summer. But that's because I have one of your kids. And I didn't really realize it because he started running around like, the vacuum's going to get me. And I was like, what are you doing? Everyone else is kind of like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah. It's fun. It gets them doing something else and it's like another game to them.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, Laura, I like this idea. Hire your kids.
Yes.
I mean, why not? And you don't have to pay them if you don't want to, but like, why aren't they helping? They could help vacuum. They could help with the dishes or.
If you have older kids, my high schooler was going on her school choir trip overseas. And so it was like $5,000. So we hired her to help out.
Yeah.
And she, didn't get paid directly, but her trip got paid for.
Right.
You know, things. So
yeah. Oh, I like that idea.
If you're already paying for stuff.
Yeah.
You can use it as like, hey, you have to earn this trip.
Yep.
So
I did want to, I really like this idea. And I think this is when, if we ever talk about taxes, because we need to get somebody on here that knows a little bit more than we do.
Yes. It is a little tough because we, as daycare providers, don't make a lot of extra money.
Right. Yeah.
I wish we made enough extra money that we could put it aside and put it into all of these accounts for our kids.
I know.
But all of the money we make is going into our bills.
Yeah. Bills and also our retirement
account. And it's not even that much. So, if this is just like extra income, that's a great idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
15-minute family timer. Amy says everyone cleans for 15 and the night is free. I like that. We do that.
That's easy.
It's easy.
For the most part, it doesn't take more than that long.
And if you keep it up consistently.
Yes.
So if your house is just, if you haven't started this, it's going to take longer than 15 minutes to do that first round. But if you do it consistently every night, it literally will take 15 minutes because it'll have been cleaned from the day before. You'll have only made one day's mess.
Right.
So I think that works.
So I like this idea. I don't know if I could do it. The second work phone from Morgan. Free carrier line, daycare app, lives only there, powers off at 5:30. So it's just the daycare kid. It's just the daycare phone.
Yeah. You could do a home line. I know that there are where you could just have kind of like back in the 90s, I don't know how old.
Yeah, like
where you had your wall phone.
Yes.
It's like a landline.
Like a landline.
And just have that as your daycare. So you're not taking it with you if you leave the house.
Yeah.
And it just stays at home. And that way, if you have kids of your own that are old enough to stay home but don't have phones of their own.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea for that too.
Get a hold of you.
Yeah.
When, on the weekends and stuff in the evenings if you leave them home for an hour or something.
Yeah.
Then, so that can work.
Anne says require backup care.
Well, I think that is required, isn't it?
I don't think it's required.
Okay.
People always say like, do you have backup care?
Oh, okay.
But I like that because now for the majority of my families, they do have backup care.
Yeah.
And they could make it work and they would figure it out, whether it even is just that they work from home, right?
Yep.
But there are a few that don't. Like they don't have family here. They don't, whatever it may be.
Yeah. Yeah. It kind of should be required.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because then you wouldn't feel the guilt.
Yeah. You wouldn't feel as guilty at least.
Closing for certain things. So blocks scheduling and online grocery.
Yeah.
I think we talked about online grocery last week because that's just, and
you may not need it in every season of your life, but sometimes you just need to do it.
It's true.
So
I think I wish I would have done it today. But
anyways, those are some great other suggestions.
Yeah,
too.
but also, make sure if you guys want to, if you have a concern or a question, call in and then we can kind of go through, your voicemails.
All right.
I think that is what we're going to do for today.
Yep. Please
subscribe if you haven't already. And remember, if you would like to leave a voicemail, the number is 651-300-2277.
Caretakers, take care of yourselves. Sister.
Well, and I've been looking at this camera the whole time. I just realized I have not looked at the camera ever. Hardly ever.
This one?
Yes, I don't know why.
I look at mine. I never look at this one.
Oh.
I did the same thing. Are we supposed to look at this one?
I think so.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know.